Psychically, I'm very well
Y'all
endowed.
got on this boat for different reasons, but y'all come to the same place. So now I'm asking more of you than I have before. Maybe all. As sure as I know anything, I know this. They will try again. Maybe on another world, maybe on this very ground swept clean. A year from now, 10, they'll swing back to the belief that they can make people better. And I do not hold to that. So no more running. I aim to misbehave.
Make a move and the bunny gets it.
I said, put the bunny back in the box. Why couldn't you put the bunny back in the box?
Why doesn't the hero reveal himself and tell us your true name? You do have a name. My name is Gladiator. How dare you show your back to me? Slave, you remove your helmet and tell me your name. My name is Fun My Comic, and I represent all the campaigns you shadow banned and kicked off your website. Huh? Creators that just wanted to fund, that wanted to be left alone. And we will build a website that is going to bury you all. Oh crap.
Our brethren are already in the field. Why stand we here idle? What is it the gentlemen wish? What would they have? Is life so dear, or peace so sweet? Has to be purchased at the price of chains and slavery? Forbid it, Almighty God. I know not, of course, others. As for me, Give me liberty, or give me death.
All right. Okay, this is Cooper from Telepathic Bunny Comics. Welcome to the Rabbit Hole. Little bit of issues tonight. I think has something to do with the fact that Hurricane Debbie stopped by earlier, and so my internet has been a little intermittent. I played a whole bunch of stuff. But because of that, I kind of like got distracted and wasn't able to. I realized I didn't have my opening crawl created. So here lately, I've been hit or miss with that thing. I used to be really good at doing that, but here we are. Tonight, we'll talk about my main character, Ironsides. I knew it would be a little bit of a tough sell, but later on, I plan on doing other people's characters, and hopefully I'll get more play with that. And maybe get some creators on to talk about those characters, because we're going to have to replace the ones that they're burning right now. Quite frankly, these IPs that they are completely, totally torching are not going to last forever. Right now, two characters are just dominating the box office, Wolverine and Deadpool. But in the comics, those guys have been completely replaced. Again. Okay? All right. So let's review. The Avengers comes out. And people just, after a build-up, you had Iron Man. You had Captain America, First Avenger. You had the Hulk. Incredible Hulk was before both of those. Even though they changed it to Mark Ruffalo from Edward Norton, which is one of the great miscalculations of Phase 1 to me. Because Edward wouldn't go along with the program. So they decided to replace him with the Marshmallow, the little liberal nut job marshmallow that is Mark Ruffalo. But then you had, Thor, the first Thor, where he was actually likable. Probably the last Thor, he was very likable. But you had that, Kenneth Branagh was the director. It was a good movie. Of course, Loki was there for all the little fangirls. Like, oh my God, well, I can change him. I can change him. Played by Tom Hiddleston very brilliantly. And it built up to the Avengers. And the Avengers was a giant tentpole, directed by Joss Whedon. I have a lot of problems with Joss, but as you saw from the clip earlier, the dude can write. He can write characters. So he brought out the Avengers. It rolled out, the first big rollout with crossovers, which broke the industry. Because we never expected to see all these great characters that were set up by these movies into one property. And what happened was the comic book shops saw an influx of people that, I haven't been in comics for years, but man, I want to see where my old friends are. Who's Thor? Oh, Jane Foster's Thor. Huh? It's like, okay, well, let me go with Captain America. Who's Captain America? Oh, Captain America's a Nazi now. He's Hydra? What? Okay. Well, let me go. Let me go with Iron Man. Oh, you mean Ironheart? Who's Ironheart? Okay. Well, let me check these people out. Well, these aren't These aren't the characters that I remember. These aren't the characters from the Avengers. Okay. I'm not gonna be back. And comic book shop owners were like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And the Marvel intelligentsia, the upper tier crust at Marvel, you know, pushed by Huma Aberdeen. Not Huma Aberdeen, Osama Amanat. It's one of those. Osama Amanat. And the Milkshake Girls said, "Well, you're all a bunch of Eastern folks. Shut up and sell our product." And then they're like, "But this stuff doesn't sell." And they're like, "Well, that's your fault. And oh, by the way, no chargebacks." And comic book shops just closed left and right. And then they're like, "What happened to the comic book shops?" Oh, well, we had nothing to do with it, right? It's these these middle-aged white owners who are seeing their life savings go away. It's their fault. Okay, so here we go, and this proceeds apace. We go through phase two. Phase two is pretty cool. Phase three is like pretty incredible, and then it builds up, except for one aberrant movie in there, which portended things to come, called Captain Marvel. And she got the catbird seat. She got the best spot in the whole entire MCU between two tentpole movies that were the end of the whole thing. And they were told, you got to watch this before you watch this final one. And so it made $1 billion, and they've been waving that in their face ever since. See? And then they made that the template for the whole entire phase 4. While they removed all the toxic white males. And the whole thing went, whew. Okay. So years later, Bob Chapek says, we got to bring all these properties are under the Disney umbrella now, like X-Men, and all the Blade and all these other ones. We got to bring them into the MCU. How are we going to do that? I know, a Deadpool movie. Okay. Who has control of the Deadpool franchise movie-wise? Ryan Reynolds. So he's like, hey, Ryan, what will it take for you to bring Deadpool to the Disney MCU? And Ryan Reynolds is like, I'm independently wealthy, and I won't let anybody, race or gender swap Deadpool. You got to give me carte blanche, and you got to give me Hugh Jackman. And so Bob Chapek says, all right, sure. Okay. And then ousted by Bigger Bob, who promptly turned around and blamed everything that he created onto Bob Chapek. And look, I'm Lily White. And so what happens is he puts Victoria Alonso in charge of everything, with her good friend Sama Amanat Consulting, the same one that did Marvel Now and swapped everybody out. And what do? They do Marvel Now in the movies. Brilliant idea, because it works so well with the comics, right? Okay. And so what happens is the same thing that happened with Marvel Now. People are like, who are these characters? I don't recognize these characters. Who the hell are these people? And none of them are well-written. None of them are interesting. All of them are boring and tedious and preachy. I don't like this. And Captain Marvel shows up again, and everybody's like, yeah, I ain't watching that. I'm not falling for it this time. I don't have to watch this to get to the last movie this time. So I'm not going to watch it. Okay. And so during all of this, Bob Iger is trying to squash this Deadpool Wolverine project because Ryan Reynolds is like, nope, you can't mess with it. Nope, you can't mess with it. Nope. I have contract, carte blanche. And Bob couldn't touch it. So Bob's like, okay, well, we're going to paralyze your whole entire production with these strikes over here. But at the end of that, you got to deliver product in time for the movie to come out when we said you could come, when it was going to come out. And so as soon as they were over, as soon as those strikes were over, they had to rush together and they had to throw this thing together, and it shows. But the love for the characters came through. Everybody loves them. And now they're going to go to the comic book shops and they're going to find out they killed off Deadpool and put his daughter as Deadpool. That's happening right now in the comics. And oh, by the way, X-23 is back as Wolverine because they killed Wolverine again. So all momentum. And guess who's still working at Marvel? Sam Amanat. Anyway, well, she moved over to the MCU and turned it into the MCU, but she's probably back at Marvel proper, I'm sure. Feige's over the whole thing. But anyway, so all momentum loss, all comic book shops have no way to, all they can do is point to back issues and say, hey, we still got back issues of these guys. And back issues are keeping these doors open with these comic book shops. My local comic book guy has stacks and stacks up to the ceiling of the new stuff that nobody will buy, but he's making steady sales with the back issues, which is what I'm buying. I go buy a compendium every once in a while because I don't want the guy to go under. Because we need comic book shops in the community, you know. Anyway, got some comments over here after my little rant. Trying to set all this up. Next characters. Did you hold on a second. Populate. Next characters. Did you release a book yet? No, I did not. Not yet. But once it does, I think Ironsides is going to be a character that I think is going to impress some people. So today I thought I'd talk about him, show some rare art that no one's seen before. Some pieces that I haven't ever revealed. Also see some pencils and the completed work. So for some other pieces that people have seen before, but see them in a new light. Anyway, you're being shadow banned on YouTube. You weren't showing on my sub feed. I know I am. Best I can do right now. Nobody's going to see it till after it's over. But anyway, you're not even, you're showing blue, not red next to your avatar. Yep. Gotcha. Yep. Yeah, that's pretty typical. Not surprised. I might have pissed YouTube off earlier today because I was like, I'm a positive guy. I've got other people that are positive, but you know, you guys drove Nerd Bacon into the ground by not because he couldn't get any views, even though there's the most positive show on YouTube and it's at a great spot, you know, the morning show, and they killed it. And so Luke has better things to do. So he went and walked away from Nerd Bacon. And I was like, why is that you push these people who are belly aching all the time? And you're not pushing people that are being positive and saying, let's look to the future. Why is that? Why is YouTube doing that? Ask yourself that question. And then you will see why this piece of shit platform is going to go away eventually. Anyway, exactly. Everybody loves bunnies. Right? Everybody doesn't love me, but they do love bunnies. So that's probably where the disconnect is. Anyway, so I have some things I want to show you guys, things that people haven't seen before. And I was hoping to have some people come on and give me some kind of live feedback about this. So I'm going to hold off for a little while longer on that. Hopefully maybe some people will see the link and pop on. I'd rather show this new stuff to people that are some people that are familiar with the character. Anyway, your butt. No, not my butt. Nobody wants to see my butt. Fairly certain. Fairly certain. If they did, I'd be on OnlyFans right now. But I'm not. I think everybody's very happy about that. Anyway, all right. So let me go ahead and I'm going to I got some things I want to show you guys. Things that people have not seen. The first thing I'm going to show you, Animane, a guy in the community that everybody loves. He's pretty much Frost's best guy. Frost Comics, he's his best buddy. And he did a trailer for me. He was like saying, you know, if you first one to comment gets a trailer. And I commented. And so he said he's going to put a trailer together. The problem is he voiced it and it wasn't, the voices weren't what I wanted. They weren't right for the characters, and so I haven't been able to use it before now. I've been trying to figure out a way to alter the voice over to where it sounds more like the characters that I have in my head. But I'm going to show it to you today because it's the first. It's a scene. It's actually a scene that appears in the comic, and yeah, and this is not like a reveal to anybody because it's in the my production page or my campaign page. But here it is. Eventually, I'll figure out how to alter the vocals on it, and so it makes more sense. But I still great trailer. I wish I could use it. I'm still working on it. Eventually, I will get there, but this is a debut. No one's ever seen this before, except for me and Anime. And I hope you enjoy it. Here we go. For all the 15 people that are watching, happy to have you guys. Happy to have you here. So check this out. Here we go.
You better have a good reason for cutting the engine. We don't have time for this.
I need a word, Kieran. You owe me that much.
This is not the dock, Jack. Speak your mind, but make it brief.
The last time you trusted intelligence like this, we ended up on the business end of a damn harpoon. Sidewinder's asking you to do the impossible and defy the most dangerous organization in the government to do it. This is not your fight, Kieran. Not anymore. They made sure of that.
And what, Jack? Run away from what they did? If not me, then who else? Who else is willing to defy them? To stand up and fight? You? No. That would mean doing more than steering the damn boat.
And now I'm not even good for that. Unless, of course, you plan on putting us down.
I didn't mean... I can't back down now. The world already thinks I'm dead. If I walk away from this, I might as well be.
Well, then get off my boat, landlubber. I'll either see you at the rendezvous or be drinking a toast to your stubborn patriotic corpse.
See you there. Prepare for company. Stay out of the rum.
No promises. Now give them hell.
Please, Lord, help me save them.
1 second. All right, there we go. All right. So I'd like to use that, but the voiceovers just aren't, you know, what I have in mind. But one of these days I'll figure out how to fix that. But I really love it. I really like it. So now you got to see it. Animane's a really great editor, and he did a great job on that. Yeah, pretty cool, right? Right. Absolutely cool. Absolutely cool. I'm probably roboting like crap right now. My internet tanked out. Hurricane Debbie. You know, thank you, lady. Thank you for coming through. And I got a river running right on the gully right there. Which, you know, was cool earlier when I was trying to sleep. But, you know, not long term ideal. But anyway, so we'll go onward and upward. So that is, no one's ever seen that before. That is brand new to the world. And one of these days, I'll figure out how to get the voices where I want them. I'm currently working on using a voice changer to AI. But the other day it didn't work out that well, so not really sure what I can do to alter that. But I really want to use that. I really do. Anyway, but that being said, I did play the older trailer earlier, but I have a new trailer by the gentleman that's in my chat right now, the only gentleman in my chat right now, Mr. Good Stuff. This is part of his new editing program, editing show. I mean, editing company, and hoping to use him in the future. Well, I did have somebody in the stream. He's got the man cave coming up. Don't want to leave Belmont unsupervised. But yeah. So this is the brand new trailer. I debuted it just the other day, and people were like over the moon about it. I changed it on X. It's now my pinned profile. And this is it. Here we go.
Roar. Roar.
Colonel Ironsides here. 200 years I stood in the gap, fighting those who would harm my country. It was my honor, my sacred duty, so help me God. 9 times they took my life. 9 times I stood back up and made them pay. The freedom fighter I could handle anything, but someone betrayed me. I was ambushed, made mortal, rendered powerless, and retired. They passed an amendment and made me a civilian before I left the hospital. For 50 years I watched my country change. Lost its work while erasing me from history. The day I quit my job, I powered up and discovered they lied about that too. I'll remind them of freedom. I'll remind them of duty. I'll remind them of their oaths and who they serve. I'll remind them while I'm shoving it down their throats.
Okay, that's a new trailer. Mr. Good Stuff did a brilliant job on that. Make sure that you check out his packages that he's got available. Not his package. Don't check out Mr. Good Stuff's package. That belongs to only one lady. It will be on the Man Cave tonight. So, yeah. So go check that out. It's the Man Cave's going to be later on, I think around 7. So go over to a Good Stuff channel or Belmont Press and check that out. they've got a cosplay Babe of the Week going on, and I think it looks like Red, Miss Valkyrie, Red Valkyrie is going to probably win it, but she's really probably my favorite cosplayer. She did a version of my Switch. She did a good job with that. Why don't I play that right quick? I don't think anybody's seen that. This is my character's Switch. She did this for me after we got off the show. And this is actual dialogue from my comic, the second comic that's coming. Here we go. Check this out.
I'm not supposed to be here. I just shoplift occasionally. And a parking handicap spots when I'm late for Pilates. And the drug convictions. But I did rehab 4 times, and I meant it. That one sex tape that was leaked. But I'm not a bad person.
That leaked sex tape was available for download on your website.
I mean, life hands you lemons. You either make lemonade or 2.6 mil.
2.6 million? Really?
It was high death.
Okay. All right. StreamYards is once again screwing me. I'm probably gonna try out Restream. It just anytime my internet's not quite there, StreamYards just like screws with me drastically. So hopefully Restream's doing better. But I think I'm probably, if it's any good, I'm probably gonna switch off of StreamYards. Sorry for the bad internet tonight, guys. Can't be helped. Just can't be helped, unfortunately. Thanks to Hurricane Debbie. That's okay. Looks like I'm only stay with me. So I have some art that no one's ever seen before that I want to share with you. This is my man Ironsides. You know, when you're producing a comic, you wind up getting a lot of art from different sources. Every time you have an idea, you pretty much have art made for it. But so here we go. Add to stage. All right. I was hoping to have some people on with me to ooh and ah, but doesn't look like that's going to happen. But that's all right. We'll proceed here. Let me see if I can get that any bigger here. Let me see. There. Well, didn't really get bigger. But okay, so this one here, this is a piece that was done by Mr. Romo Art, who is probably going to be working on a second book some. But he's it was what I wanted was a Norman Rockwell style piece, and look at that. Look at that. He's got the Norman Rockwell style down. The dog always gets me. That's and I basically I put it I sent it to a guy named Skunk Artworks in Germany who does hand painting, and asked him to paint it, and I wound up with this. Look at this. Look at that. There's the dog again. This is all painting. This is a one of my covers. and it's just called Ironsides Gets a Close Shave. This right here, this was done by Biff Bam Boom Comics. He's kind of like their art is like basically more Photoshop, and asked if he do a version of Ironsides. I'm probably going to wind up putting this in the book, but this was him like if Ironsides was like a real physical character, and I really liked it. I've yet to figure out what I'm going to do with it, but this is a kind of like a live version of what he would look like maybe if he was in a live action something. I kind of dig it. I really dig it, but I'm just not sure what I'm going to do with it yet. But that was kind of cool. That's Biff Bam Boom Comics. I think it got something funding right now. But this right here, this is a pinup I had my friend Tank Ferret do for me. I had an idea for maybe some production images for summer, and took that and had the lovely Mika from Barbusco Comics to do the coloring for me. Look at this. Look at the ocean there. And Tank and Mika. It's right there on the carved onto the relic. I added the cross around his neck afterwards. I just thought he'd have one. And this is Pal Rodricks of Genuine Comics fame. This is the Cross Worlds campaign tier. You get Pal to draw your people, and I had him draw America Bliss and Ironsides. Let me find it right quick. But this is that colored. Look at that. And Ironsides, boy, they looked good together. Dave said that he wishes that he'd seen this before he put the book out, or he would have used it. Isn't that cool? But those two need to team up someday. They just do. They really do. Hopefully that'll happen. Production image. This is Greg Bo Watson. This is my first the first thing I bought. The first pinup. Met him at the Comic-Con, and he's more of a cheesecake than beefcake. As a matter of fact, beefcake is kind of like him trying to run on diesel. And it took him 6 months to draw this, but it's still, to this day, it's my favorite. Still my favorite image. I guess you always remember your first, right? But Mika colored this. But then the lettering and the digital effects was done by a guy by the name of Xevious. Those who know who that is. He is he went back and did these digital effects. It's like the eye. You got to see this up close to really appreciate it. But this is Xevious's digital effect. Now I thought at one point I was going to use, and he did a panel. I can't afford him, but maybe one of these days I'll do a if I start making more money, which looks like I might. I'll maybe do a remaster. Okay, this is let me see right here. This is Renzo Rodriguez. He offered to do this for me, and I gave him the concept. And this is what he came up with. Look at this. Look at that. Elliot Rodriguez. My fault. I get my Rodriguez's mixed up. I'm a racist. What can I say? But this is Ironsides punching a tank. and it backfiring or backing into the tank and blowing it up. That was the idea. Look at that. And then Mika came in behind that, and she did the colors. Look at this piece. Look at that. That's going to wind up being in the book as an image. But that's going to definitely be something I share. Look at that. It might actually be in the actual comic. I'm thinking of rewriting a whole entire scene to have Ironsides do that in the comic, and maybe I'll find a way to put it in there. But awesome piece. And now this one, let me see. This was done for me by Mr. Odin Dasco. Mr. Odin Dasco. Okay. Now the idea was this was another kind of like Norman Rockwell thing. Scratch the arm, win 10,000, only 20 per attempt. All proceeds go to veteran causes. Now the joke's on them because that arm is like the hardest substance. It's like my world's adamantium, and you're not going to scratch it, but it looks like it's something that you could scratch, and so everybody's lined up to do it. Once again, you add the Mika colors onto that. Look at that. Man, does she do the but this is another production. There's another image that I thought. And Odin, man, he can draw muscles, man. He can draw the muscles. This one, I got this at a Comic-Con. My good buddy Stacy Fleming. He did this like 1 hour. And then you add Mika colors to that. And look at this. Look at this. Look at the stars and the sky. She put all that in. She's just a genius. That's why Mika is the best colorist anywhere, I believe. But he drew this in an hour off of some images I gave him. One of the best Ironsides faces, I think. Just incredible. Love this piece. It's going to be a page in the comic. This is Ironsides as a younger man. This is like one of those fitness, like a fitness poster or whatever. If he was doing one because they always were obsessed with people's fitness. And so if Ironsides was in my world, he was around in the World War II era, and he is like the pinnacle of physical fitness. And so he would have been done something like that. So this is another, Ironsides' beefcake image. I know it's kind of homoerotic, but this one was somebody else. He's kind of disappeared, but he disappeared before we could finish this transaction. But this was Ironsides as a lifeguard, but he really went to an extreme degree with this one. I may get this colored someday. I may get this finished. But no one's ever seen that before. He never finished it. But I was like, if I'm going to do Ironsides, I'm going to go all the way with it. But he definitely tapped his sisters and his mom to figure out how masculine he could go with it. Now I had this made up. Now he went a little more post-apocalyptic than I would like. But I do like. Now this is the original quote. Now that Mark Waid kind of like bastardized. Compromise where you can, where you can't, don't. Even if everything's telling you that something's wrong, something is something right. Even if the whole world's telling you to move, it's your duty to plant yourself like a tree, look him in the eye, and say, "No, you move." I just love that quote. That's the actual quote, not the one Mark Waid bastardized. But he really went post-apocalyptic with Ironsides. But look at this. Let me zoom in a little that. This is also Mika colors. Once again, look at that. You know, standing alone on his last legs, kind of, but unbowed. Now, the energy thing on that, that was a little, that's really unique. Nobody else has drawn that like that. But that's also going to be in the book. But this is Ed from Barbusco Comics, my buddy Ed. He's drawing the first book, and this is him drawing Ironsides. And I really liked it so much that I wanted to show you guys. Look at that. So this is him drawing Ironsides. This is the artist for the first book. But he's going to stay on and draw some other stuff. But those images are the ones I've never showed. A lot of them. And going to find a place to put them. But those are pretty rare. 16 people that are still here. You're the only ones that have seen them. Oh, one second. Jesus, Coop, you act like Jordan Peterson was never been born. Awesome. Yeah. Well, thank you, man. Appreciate it. But I'm right now, I'm finishing up a novella. It's already over 3,000 words. It's going to wind up being about, I don't know, before it's over with, it's going to be over 20 pages, probably, of a novella. But I'm gonna send that out with an update with a new timeline. But I'm also going to hold on a second. Let me bring this back up. Right quick. Hang in there. We'll find this. But I'm adding cards to the campaign. Let me bring this up. But I'm adding cards to the campaign. Whoop, it's over in documents. My fault. But I bought them from the source, which is Adam Miller. So I'm not cutting into his profit margin. I actually bought these off of him. But it's got he picked Ironsides to show to put in this card set. And he gave me the production image, but I'm buying his actual cards for my campaign. But let me share this with you. This is going to be a card that's going to be given to everybody who backs. Image of the card, but I wasn't sure I should show that. It might be proprietary. But this is the front image. And let me share. As soon as that comes up, here we go. Look at this guy. This is a badass. He just is. This is you know, so many characters wind up being like the mentor or the secondary character. You know, I've always liked James Gordon more than Batman. You know, I've just always liked elder statesmen, kind of like badass old guys, and Ironsides wound up being that. Now, so this is you know, the glass arm is very unique in comics. I've never seen anybody do it before. I'm sure somebody can point something out, but the closest I've seen is maybe a character that they called Prism, that died during the Mutant Massacre thing. Well, he shattered. I don't know if he died, but he's the only one that had like glass or like a hard substance like that was flexible, and it's just like a really unique thing. The glass arm's such a unique thing, but the reticle that's on his head. I've had people like accuse me of like that's actually it's not that's actually like a way to cover up his eye. That's what his eye patch turns into. But if he doesn't turn his if he doesn't cover up his eye, he's gonna tap into the world's gravitational field, and bad stuff ensues. So he's got to keep his eye covered. But it's just a really incredible character. People love to interpret him. That's why I have so much art. They love to interpret him. They love to. This was actually Adam Miller's coloring. This wasn't Mika. Adam's just that damn good. I mean, if you look closer, you'll see, especially on the flag, it's his brushstroke there. I mean, he's just the closest thing that the independent space has to Alex Ross. He's just real incredible. Real incredible. Love his work. But that's a card that's going to be available in every campaign. Now, it seems a little bit like wankery to be showing my own character off tonight as being somebody that I think is going to be big. But he simply is that good of a character. He's my favorite character. He's taken the place of, you know, all the Marvel people that have been destroyed in my world. If anybody asks me who my favorite character is, it's Ironsides. And I think eventually when people start reading the book, they start understanding the character of the man, that I think that they'll love him too. Ironsides is a immigrant from Ireland. He was basically put into a workhouse because his parents both died of typhoid. And so he was basically a slave. And he was sent to America. They just basically emptied out a workhouse and shoved him onto a ship and sent him to America because they needed more work. They need more hands over there. And Irish people were slaves. I mean, they're called like bond servants, but they were slaves. You know, every way that a black people were slaves. They were enslaved in Caribbean, owned by Kamala Harris's great grandfather, by the way. That's why she has Irish blood. But anytime you see that cafe au lait skin from the Caribbean area, then you know that they have Irish ancestry. Rihanna is a good example of this. Yes, slavery does happen across cultures and all races. But he comes to America as a bond servant, and a man who is running a printing press needed a hand, and he chose this young lad right off the boat, saw something in him, and brought him to the printing press. And taught him to read so he could typeset, treated him better than anyone ever had in his life, taught him to love his brand new country, taught him to believe in freedom. And then because he was basically printing copies of Thomas Paine's pamphlets, which the thinking in those pamphlets created the revolutionary fervor in America. But because he was discovered printing those, he was dragged out in the street and beat to death with rifle butts in front of young Kieran. Kieran tried to save him, but he got hit by a rifle butt, split his head open, and he held the man to his dying breath. And he called for a lawyer and ceded all of his worldly possessions over to this young man, including himself, which made it effectively freeing him. And he used that freedom to join the Continental Army. Became one of Washington's favorite scouts. You send Kieran Quinn to do something, he gets it done, no matter how incredible, no matter how far behind the enemy lines. One night, hiding in the backwoods of North Carolina, he stumbles upon something that bathes his body in light and asks him what he wants to do. And it's called Asking the Question. It turns out they're Soltrons. And he's the first being that was ever infused with Soltrons from outside, not from birth. And he became the most powerful expressor, which is the name of superpowered beings in my world. And became the first hero in the United States. And because of that, the Continental Congress wrote him right into the Constitution as an amendment to the Constitution, as the person who has overpowered people in America. And so to get control of the powered people, they had to get rid of Ironsides, because Ironsides couldn't be controlled. And while as long as Ironsides was there, they couldn't put them in active service. They couldn't use them as a tool. They couldn't use them as a weapon. And they had to get rid of Ironsides, and they betrayed him, hit him with this crystallizing ray, hoping that he wouldn't come back to life if they completely transformed him into crystal. And the man who betrayed him broke his programming long enough to destroy the apparatus. And they can no longer, because it's alien technology, they can't figure out how to reverse anything. And so Ironsides was retired and told that he was powerless. And then 50 years on, he discovers that, because when he first powers up, first time since he was disabled, he discovers that they lied about that too. And the book is about Ironsides getting his groove back, about Ironsides coming out of retirement. As you saw in the trailer, the dialogue, he's not happy about what happened to him. He's not happy about the amendment that they put in the Constitution that made the powered people slaves once they got him out of the way. And he's going to do something about it. That's what community service is about, because there's a whole bunch of people like the one that Red Valkyrie cosplayed as, named Switch. She's a great character. You guys are gonna love her. But because of that, these are the people. These are his soldiers. These people that are in community service for a reason. They're all criminals. They're all selfish. They're all self-centered. And he's got to turn them into selfless heroes. And he's got a very small window to do it. Namely, they're in a kill box, and he's walking into that kill box knowing what it is. But he's going to get these people out because for some reason they want them dead. And he figures if he can save these people, not only will he have a fighting force because all of them are really powerful in their own right. Maybe they're some of the most powerful expressors on the planet in their own right. Why do they want them dead? He doesn't know, but he knows if he gets them out of that situation, out of that kill box, that he will have done something that would be really bad news for the people who betrayed him and put him out of work, or put him out of business, put him behind a desk for 50 years, making him think that he was part of the intelligence apparatus. And so he's out of retirement. He's more powerful than he's ever has been. In fact, he might be too powerful. But his power's killing him. But he's doing it anyway. And he's been told that he's not going to regenerate if he dies. That the crystal compromised his regeneration. So he is not recovering like he used to. He takes more damage than he ever has. And he's not recovering from it as fast as he used to. And his body's aging. But he's still going to do the job. Because that's who he is. And that is all basically in that novella that I'm going to send out to everybody who's a backer. Along with the update. But that's going to happen very shortly. I'm in the final pages of it. But it's going to detail his life before up to that point. It's going to detail his last day employed as a analyst, and his discovery that he's not as powerless as they told him he was. And it's going to have some scenes that are not going to be in the comic, and it's going to flesh everything out. And it's in the final stages, so I'm probably going to send it out to an editor to look at very shortly. But I'm going to send that out to everybody that's backing. So you're going to get the novella if you're on the list of backers. And it's also going to be in FERA files. So if you and also Wrangler and Pixel Trader, hey guys, kind of winding up here, but good to see you. Yo, what's up, dude? Good to see you. But so in review, you're going to get that the novella that's going to come out to everybody that's on the that's currently backed. You're also going to get a card while supplies last of Adam Miller's art on one side and the synopsis of Ironsides on the back with a power rating, which I coordinated with Adam Miller on. But that's going to be over 500, so I think I'll have plenty. But that's while supplies last. As soon as they're gone, they're gone. So if you want on that. I've also got all the art that you saw today. It's going to be in the comic. It's going to be kind of padding out the comic. It's going to be a few pages in the back. But I have some other goodies that I'm not telling you about. You're going to find out. So it's all available in the Fund My Comic campaign, which is pinned in the chat. If you want to check it out, it's also in the description. But the reason why I believe Ironsides is going to be a character that is going to resonate with people is I have a print that is currently being colored by Mika. I don't know what she's going to do with it, but it's drawn by Nathan Rosario, and it's based on the Trump assassination picture. Because when the assassination happened, and I was very grateful that we still have Trump, Donald Trump, and I really I know I'm probably being naive, but I think he's the best shot we've got in this country, and I'm so glad that God saw fit to spare him. but it clarified some things about my comic. And I went and I've rewritten the whole back side of the comic, because Ironsides is my world's Trump. And so I've been kind of like shying away from that a little bit, but it clarified things for me. And because you need that figure, you need that transformative figure, you need that counterculture figure, you need somebody who's going to take a bullet for his country and stand up and say, keep fighting. And Ironsides is that guy for his world, and I'm going to lean into it. I'm going to make that a big part of this campaign going forward. That trailer that I showed has a lot of the sentiments in it, because all that was in the book. I didn't rewrite the book. I mean, I didn't rewrite this part of the book. This was literally in the book all along, but I didn't really focus on it. I didn't make it the focus, but that what happened there just revealed to me that that's where I needed to go with this. And so for those of you who are concerned about the delay, it's going to make the book so much better because of it. And I really honestly think, stay the course, stay with me, because I really think this is going to be something incredible. I believe it with all my heart. And I believe Ironsides is the character that's going to get it there. Now, I'm going to do more of these characters later on, but this is the one I wanted to start with for obvious reasons. This is the new trailer, once again. If you want to see that anime trailer, I'm still working on it. I'm eventually going to find a way to alter the voices to fit, but that's definitely something I want to put out. But this right here is the new trailer. Enjoy it. And thank you for everybody that showed up tonight. I know I didn't get pushed to YouTube people for obvious reasons. They are not like fond of me, but I'm going to keep going. I'm just going to keep fighting. And I think you stick with me. I think it's going to go someplace. Right now, I don't have the resources to take you there as fast as I'd like, but we're going to get there. Here's the trailer. Follow the White Rabbit. Y'all have a good day.
Roar. Roar.
Colonel Ironsides here. 200 years I stood in the gap, fighting those who would harm my country. It was my honor, my sacred duty, so help me God. 9 times they took my life. 9 times I stood back up and made them pay. The freedom fighter and I could handle anything, but someone betrayed me. I was ambushed, made mortal, rendered powerless, and retired. They passed an amendment and made me a civilian before I left the hospital. For 50 years I watched my country change. Watched this work while erasing me from history. The day I quit my job, I powered up and discovered they lied about that too. I'll remind them of freedom. I'll remind them of duty. I'll remind them of their oaths and who they serve. I'll remind them while I'm shoving it down their throats.